What's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters Allstar video, and today we have some very exciting updates to share with everyone, as Netmarble has given us some new information on some new updates that we will be getting tonight at Reset, which include some new in-game events, a new FES character that we will all be able to obtain for free, as well as a new FES Roulette, and I'm also going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on a few events that we currently have that are about to end, so that way you can ensure that you get the most out of those before those go away. And then we're also going to do a mini summon session. So before we get into all of that and more, make sure that you guys smash that like button and subscribe. So let's go ahead and get into this news. So first up here we have the 512 in-game event notice. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this has for us here, because there's some pretty exciting information. So let's go ahead and read through this. So awesome in-game events have been prepared for you contenders. A bingo event where you can obtain a 2000 Lin fighter and new battle cards. A special roulette event where you can obtain baseball Vanessa and her special cards. And a mini dungeon event where you can break open a gourd have been prepared, so please check below for more details on them. I like how they make a big deal out of having to break open a gourd. Like, okay, sure. A little bit out of season, but we'll go with it. So as you guys can see, we are going to be getting several new events, so let's go ahead and break these down. We have a roulette coming. Now this roulette should be structured largely the same way as past FES roulettes, where you're able to go ahead and spin the wheel for various prizes that are also going to include baseball Vanessa and her card, as well as some souls for her. So it ought to be pretty cool that we can do this, because we will be able to craft her memories as well. As you guys are aware, I always tell you guys that this is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to pick up not only memories, but also get those souls so that you can get that extra purple soul dust in the exchange shop, so you can pick up those tokens for the unified banner. So overall, this ought to be pretty cool. Otherwise, if you're somebody who really likes baseball Vanessa or doesn't have baseball Vanessa and would like to get her built up, you can do that too. She is a pretty good character overall, and actually fairly decent in PvE for what she is, so not a bad starter character for people if you're just getting into the game, but very nice that they are going to be giving this to us for free. But as you can see, they do mention that you can craft her as well as her 5-star card, so very cool that we can do all this stuff. I'm very excited to be able to get another one of these FES roulettes, because these are always really good for your account. Next up, if we take a look here, we have the very exciting gourd event. So we're going to break open some gourds, but as you can see here, this one's going to be themed after Vanessa. So yeah, baseball Vanessa is going to be a bit of a theme here, but it looks like we are going to be able to get gold and XP tier 1 through 3 mystery boxes for Awakening XP. So pretty neat for those of you who need that extra early Awakening XP caps. I know there's several people that have complained about that in the comments section, not being able to get very many of those very easily. So this will be nice for those people to be able to get those things. And then finally down here we have this bingo mission, which is probably the biggest part of this update, because it is going to, as you can see here for those final rewards, going to include the newest FES fighter that we will be getting for free, which is Lin. So as we can all kind of assume now, they have officially killed off gold border characters, because now they're just giving us free FES characters. So yeah, gold border characters, they're gone. They're done. So, but I kid, like only half kid. I half kid, because it just seems that way. But anyway, it looks like that this is going to be structured largely the same way as past bingo events, where you'll have to go ahead and do several different missions, as you can see on that bingo board, and then you'll get the corresponding items that go along with the rewards for those missions. And then once you have accumulated X amount of rows from completing those things, then you'll be able to unlock those final rewards down there in the bottom right hand corner. So pretty cool stuff. We'll take a look at Lin's trailer here momentarily and kind of break that down a little bit, but he has been in the data for a very long time. So overall, pretty cool stuff. But that's pretty much what they got there. We're also going to be getting a battle pass, so they are also coming for your money. So this is something that more than likely we're probably just going to want to skip. I don't think that there's probably going to be any reason why you need to spend actual money on this character, although we'll have to wait and see what his kit looks like. But I definitely don't think, just based on what I'm seeing in here, that I would be recommending that you guys do that. However, they are giving you a ton of his memories. As you can see here, if you get the big boy one, you're getting 4 of his memories. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, guys, so that is going to be what we are getting with the actual in-game events. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Lin himself, because unlike most of these instances where they're giving us new characters, or where we have to go to the Korean forum to get the actual trailer and any actual pertinent information, because CM Yuri is definitely not the best of the CMs. Well, they actually did one better this time and actually gave us the trailer in the actual announcement. So let's go ahead and look at that.
Here comes a new challenger! 気持ちよくなれ
You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weird to me that they are releasing a new FES character and they're doing it for free. They usually, if we get free FES characters, are going to do it in the way of giving us a re-release of a character that's already currently been available. But in this instance, this Lin has been in the data for a very long time, and just recently they ended up changing some of the things in the background to cause us to think that this character might be coming sooner rather than later. And lo and behold, here we are. So with this Lin, we don't have a whole lot of information outside of the fact that we can pretty much assume that he does have poison on his kit, as you can see here. So we're assuming that this is going to mean that he will have poison, but we don't necessarily have 100% confirmation on that. So it's pretty cool overall that they're doing this, but like I had joked, you know, I think the gold border characters are just dead at this point. I do think it's a little bit odd that we are getting this character right now, considering the fact that the unified banner has been completely dead forever. So I think that we're probably not going to see a new unified banner character until next week. That's been kind of my hunch, and I had actually briefly mentioned that yesterday. So it isn't necessarily all that much of a surprise that they are doing this week just to tide us over and give us some events, because these other events are going to be ending at the end of today. So very, very cool stuff, guys. We'll have to wait and see what his kit looks like. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But speaking of those events, let's talk about those real quick, because there's some tips I have for all of you. Alright, you guys, so we're back here on the home screen, and what we're going to do is we are going to talk about some of these events that are going to be going away at the end of the day to make room for these new events we just spoke about from those announcements. So the big one that I want to talk about and cover here is going to be this Rush event. So I'm sure all of you are aware that this does end in the next 16 hours. So from the time you're seeing this, it's probably going to be less than that, but you'll want to make sure that today, regardless, you try to get as much out of this event as possible, because basically what you'll want to make sure that you do is that you have enough coins from this event to purchase these items from this shop for the next week, because this in-game shop is going to be sticking around for the next 7 days. So while the Rush Dungeon event itself will be going away, this shop will be sticking around with us here for the next week, so we will have some extra time with this to pick up some of these items. As far as what you'll want to make sure that you save up for, my recommendation is to make sure that you are trying to get at least enough so that you can buy those capsule mystery boxes and the enhancement hammers every day. So in order to do that, the enhancement hammers are basically going to be 700 coin per hammer for 5 hammers a day that you can purchase, and then those plus capsule mystery boxes are going to be a maximum of 10 a day that you can buy at 80 coin a piece. So those are the two that I would recommend. If you want to know the math on that, I did the math on it, and it's about 30k or so as far as how many coins you'll need in order to save up enough to be able to do this every day, to get the most out of this that you possibly can. So that is my recommendation, is to make sure you at least have that amount. But if you want to get the rest of this stuff, Like, I know that there are some people out there that want to get these Element Gold memory selection boxes and so on and so forth. And like I've said, sometimes there's people out there that want these because it can be tough to get a whole lot of these XP capsules for early awakening levels for kind of early accounts. So those are going to be the things you want to focus on. You'll have to do the math on your own time to figure out exactly how much you want if there's some of these other items that you're wanting to purchase every day. But I just wanted to make sure that I let you guys know that. Make sure that you're grinding this stage as best you can before this goes away so that you guys can get as much of this stuff as possible. You'll just want to go ahead and make sure that your team is as built out with these types of items as you possibly can, as well as these characters, and that'll get you those extra coins dropped. So that is kind of something that I wanted to make sure that I reminded you guys of, because with all the excitement going on with this new announcement, with all this new stuff, I could see where people would forget about this, and it would be a shame because those hammers especially are very valuable. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to jump into a short summon session. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And no, I did not forget about the Amada no Orochi event. I just am ignoring it because I'm still not okay. Just leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. But make sure you use up your coins if you've grinded that thing, because you've earned it. Alrighty, so as per tradition here on the channel, we're going to go ahead and burn some of these tickets and see if we can't get anything good from them. So while we're doing that, we'll talk about these events. But when it comes to these events, I'm pretty excited for this stuff because I always enjoy the roulettes for the FES characters especially. Those are really, really good events for people to be able to save up very important in-game items. So basically, for those of you who are not aware and have not been on the channel during one of these, because I think the last one we had was the Kula one, if I remember off the top of my head correctly. It was either the Kula one or the Lollychang one. I'm pretty sure it was the Kula one, but regardless, basically what you want to make sure that you do, if you don't intend on building up the character, in this case the Baseball Vanessa, then what you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that you still get as many of those souls and those memories as possible, because what you can do is you can parlay those souls into the exchange shop for that purple dust, so you can get those tokens for the unified banner and save those up that way. That is a phenomenal way for you to be able to save and budget, because whenever a new unified banner character does get added in, which lol, if that ever happens again at this point, good lord. No, I'm just kidding, it'll happen next week. I'm almost certain. Could be wrong, but I'm almost certain we'll get a new one on the unified banner next week with the boss syndrome characters going away. So want to make sure that you get as much out of that as possible. I'll do a full breakdown on it tomorrow whenever we get this update in our hands and we can actually look at it. But that's exciting stuff. Baseball Vanessa is not a bad character whatsoever also, so it'll be cool for people to be able to pick her up if they don't already have her. Being that she is a purple attack type, she is actually pretty decent for high level RHD as well. So pretty good little character overall. But then we're also going to be getting that bingo event with that new Lin, of course, so pretty exciting stuff. We'll have to wait and see what his kit looks like, but we'll be looking at all that tomorrow and breaking all that information down. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're excited for this stuff, let me know in the comment section down below. Are you excited for Lin, or are you just excited to be able to get some of these items for free because this is pretty cool stuff, or any of these things that you've been looking forward to? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure that you smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so and you're new here, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video when we break it all down. Peace.
Continue. Game over.